Disagree, man. I think my opinion on Tottenham's changed completely now. And I'm not saying Man United are going to get in the fold. I think Chelsea get top four regardless because they've got a big enough squad to get there. And it's a moment of time before Potter starts really cooking. Even though he's got clean sheets, that's not really been highlighted either. So he's keeping clean sheets. Might not have happened against United, but Tottenham, this football fan base again after 10 games or so with the same sort of manager before with Mourinho starting to turn on the guy. The squad's looking depleted. I don't think they really recruit as much as they will need to in January either. I can't really see the way. I get it. Tottenham are still in that top three race, but they've stayed on the same amount of points for a minute. It's just I can't see how they're going to be in. They're not comfortably top four for me anymore. I'll be honest. There's a couple teams, Arsenal, City. I would like to think Chelsea get there because I just think Chelsea's just got the minerals to get there. To be fair, it's just gonna. Don't say Man United. Not gonna draw me out today, but
No, I think
we're gonna be in and around there.
I think United are better than Spurs right now. 100%.
I think we're better than Spurs.
I don't think it's a conversation. And again, like I get it, Newcastle, it's great to be there, but realistically, when game week 25, game week 28, game week 30 rolls about, you're not going to be there. You're just not. Like, no offense to them, but they just won't be. It's literally how long are Liverpool going to be this bad? That's the question.
There's something that's going to happen. Yeah. Newcastle are going to be taking this top 6 spot. So someone in the panel along the lines is going to have to drop out at some point, and it's not going to be my club. Let me just put it like that.
All I'm going to say top 6. For the top 4 or the top 6?
Yeah, top 6. Like this whole panel show, all panel shows across YouTube. Someone has to get replaced. Newcastle have to take that spot. Newcastle have to take a spot.
Are you saying that Man United are finishing in the top 4? It's not a draw.
No. I didn't say that. No. I didn't say. I said. I think we finished in top.
That's not a prediction, though. That's not a prediction.
No. But I'm just saying in shows like this, generic panels. All I'm going to say, somebody's spot has to go.
Well, on the football terrace, I can assure you on the football terrace, Man United stay even if we get relegated because it's my channel, right? We're staying. You lot are reviewing the Premier League and we're playing Plymouth away. We're talking about Plymouth. It's coming, but yeah, listen, it's more about we will become the top 6 plus 1 again. It's always a dig when there's a plus 1, if you know what I mean. But listen, I'm not writing Liverpool off yet. I still can't because if they click, if they click, we know what they can do. Chelsea are a machine. I know Man United were probably, you would argue, because it was at Stamford Bridge, Man United were the better team on Saturday, especially in that first half. Kovacic came on and changed it. But you're still unbeaten under Graham Potter. People are still not blown away by Chelsea, but you're not losing games. You're scoring goals again. And you come up against a team, Man United are in probably the best form we've been in, really, since the good times under Jose. And there weren't very many of them. But one of the best runs of form in terms of how we're playing football for a while. But Tottenham are in danger. They're in danger because you can feel their fans starting to not believe. Mm-hmm. And every team they've played, I think, in the top 6 has beaten them so far.
Apart from Chelsea, where Cucurella's hair got pulled.
Yeah. They haven't won a game, against anybody. And the Chelsea battered them. United, I mean, honestly, I remember Fergie's teams not having it that easy against average Tottenham teams of the past. And they just look really average. They'll beat a lot of the smaller teams, but they're the one. If Liverpool click back into gear or if Newcastle can maintain this, Tottenham will be the ones that miss out, in my opinion. Because
I believe that it said that Spurs haven't beat someone in the top half, and like 4 of their 7 wins are coming against the bottom 4 or bottom 5.
They beat Fulham.
So
who are in the top half?
Are they in the top half? Oh yeah, they are in the top half.
Yeah.
So apart from Fulham,
I was going to say this: who has the most issues? Who has the most issues?
I hate you, David.
I get Tottenham have a lot of issues with how they're playing and lately how they haven't been getting results. Liverpool have a lot of issues with injuries and the fact that they're depending on players that they didn't think they would be depending on so heavily in guys like Harvey Elliott, Carvalho having to be big parts of their season for now until their players come back. And then you look at Chelsea. I just don't know. I think Chelsea, their players are very inconsistent, but it's the same squad that they went into the season. The other 2 teams, it's freak things that they didn't expect going into the season. Chelsea, you already knew this, so they probably have already prepared for this, and that's a big part in why they signed Tuchel.
As much as I would like to be the biggest problem is Liverpool. That's just the truth.
No, but the thing is, you could say that, but I don't see it in that way. I think you have to flip it on its head a little bit and. How I see football, and especially because now we've got great, like bundles of resources and great amount of evidence to back it up. The anomaly in this whole situation and equation is Tottenham Football Club. And the only thing that we've always said about them that makes them different or gives them an added edge is the manager that they have. What happens when the manager no longer has the same influence over the group of players that we believed he's suddenly going to flip on its head? And there's a simple formula to that. When that doesn't happen, when your players stop believing, I mean, we literally saw what Aston Villa did on the weekend. And Brentford are not a meaty team. Brentford are a very, very good, sound
Not away
team.
from home, to be fair. Away from home,
Yeah,
they
not away
conceded
from home,
15,
but
15 goals away from
yeah,
home all the season.
no one, and I mean no one, if we ordered an accumulator before that game, no one would have predicted 4-0, guaranteed. You might have predicted Villa winning the game, but no one predicted a 4-0 win. So my point is, when it comes to Tottenham, is the anomaly is not only the fact that we only, and I promise you now, every single one of you, I don't even need to ask you, we only value Tottenham so highly because of maybe two factors, Harry Kane and Antonio Conte. So for me personally, you look at another anomaly that they don't have the evidence in the bank to show that they can put a run of games together to do what needs to be done. When you're talking about Liverpool, we've seen Liverpool be able to put 10, 12, 15 games together where they can just win and get, once they click. Last season, how many people thought Liverpool were going to get into the top four? I mean, they had Alisson scoring, for crying out loud. So my thing is, when it comes down to the teams that I trust the most, writing out or counting out Liverpool would be the biggest mistake you can ever make. Until it's even a bit like the title race when people were saying that I know some Arsenal fans who actually believe that Arsenal can win the league if things fall in the right place for them. And that's their prerogative. They can believe that. But I'm of the belief, even if it was March the 1st and Arsenal had a 4-point lead over Man City, I am still taking Man City every single day of the week. It needs to be maybe March.
Mathematically,
till I say Liverpool are no longer in the top four race. It needs to be March. Before I say that.
How did you get to Arsenal? But one thing I wanted to take.
It was an example.
Using Arsenal as an example.
I get it now.
Calm down, relax.
I was just gonna say, I don't like Tottenham at all. I despise them, but they did put a run together at the end of last season with Antonio Conte, and we have seen it numerous times. All of our teams can put runs together. We don't have weak teams. In comparison to some of the teams that we're going to be playing in the Premier League, all of our teams have much more quality. It's just if our players can be in form. Right now, we have out of form Mo Salah. You look at Tottenham, you have an out of form Son that's been inconsistent majority of the season. You look at Chelsea, you have an inconsistent front three in the beginning in the first place, right? So with all those teams, it's just who gets in the right form. And right now, with the pieces that Liverpool have around them, even if they get into if they have an informed Salah and if they have an informed Van Dijk, they still have to worry about the fact that they don't have an informed Fabinho. Where you look at Tottenham, they just need their two superstars to click into gear. You look at Chelsea, you have so many different pieces that can contribute, and you have such a bigger squad than Liverpool. I just think those two teams are better equipped.
I think it's a fair point. I look at Spurs in this way though. The Klopp thing, I get, and Liverpool we spoke about, and even when they had all those injuries and nearly all those players you mentioned were out injured, they still put a run together. I know they're older. That's just why I can't write them off. So I've still got City, Arsenal, Tottenham in my top four right now. Spurs are the ones I've got the question mark over because of how good Newcastle are doing. I don't think Newcastle will stay the course. You see how exhausted they are towards the end of both games because of how much effort they have to put in. That will take its toll by the back end of the season. However, my mind could change if they go out in January and buy 3 or 4 more quality players. I think that Man United, do they have a chance? If they're there or thereabouts and go out and buy a finisher in January, they could be in that conversation. I think without a class finisher, they're not going to be able to do it. With Tottenham, though, the one thing they've got an issue with, listen to their fans. Like, listen to their fans when they're being honest. They are frustrated. They are angry. I think that's going to seep into the players at some point, and I think Conte could lose control of this team. I think he could lose control of them, and if that happens, or if they don't buy him something in January that he wants, you know what he's like as a man? He'll go, well, you ain't backing me. I'm done. I think they are at the biggest risk of missing out, and it will probably be to Chelsea. That is who I would pick to like.
Terry, the thing is, Funnily enough, it's been a while since me and Daniel been on the same show. The one time he's actually backing Liverpool, I disagree with him. But I look at it from even a different perspective from Igal. I don't even think it's a players thing. I think the ceiling is why, like, it's kind of a little bit, you have to look at it like Liverpool are just too crap in order to put Tottenham like as more crap than them. Because in my opinion, when Tottenham Hotspur entered this season, the expectation wasn't to win the league, win the Champions League. Like, generally speaking, if you catch a Tottenham fan offline and just ask him, would you take the FA Cup and finishing like 8th, they probably would, because they just need a trophy. So the ceiling for Tottenham is a lot lower than the ceiling for us. We had like major people in the fan base say, yes, we're going to win the league, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So I think the fall from grace of, like, you know, finishing second to going all the way down, I think is a lot worse. But the difference is our problems could be solved in January. This is the part where I agree with Daniel. I don't know what Spurs can do in January, to be honest with you. Like, they do need, would they spend money is a question. Would Conte want the players that they want to spend money on is another question. Would the players have enough time to gel in and actually make a run in the second half is also a third question. So I think there's truth to both sides.
It also depends on who's doing what. So you look at the situation. Man United are a great example here. In the summer, the talk was, I don't really fancy it there. A lot of players, it was that they don't fancy it. What direction is the club going in? If our football keeps getting better, you saw the way the players celebrated at the end. And this is something that I don't think Man United fans care what rivals think. We feel it. And if we're feeling it, it's there. And I know Gunners went through this. And I know Liverpool fans went through it in the early stages of Klopp, where you just have a feeling and a sense, and you like your team again. If that continues into January, maybe a top-class player that Spurs want to improve their team, Man United can get over them. If Man United are a couple of points behind Tottenham, playing better football, or level with Tottenham, playing better football, there's a feel-good factor. The football looks great. I don't even mean this rudely. They ain't signing a player over Man United. They're just not going to be able to do it. And that's where Tottenham had to capitalize this summer. And I said their window was overrated, and it was. They signed a really good right back they don't play. Yves Bissouma's just coming into the team now. I don't think Richarlison, until his injury, had scored in the Premier League. Perisic, just far too old. Like, and they celebrated getting a second choice goalkeeper. Now, I know that Lloris has made a mistake yesterday, but if they think Lloris's distribution can be bad, put Forrester and go and see what happens with his distribution. The guy's a throwback goalkeeper. So listen, Tottenham can still make it. And right now, if I was pushed to make a prediction, I'm still keeping Tottenham in 4th. But they're the most vulnerable, is my view right now.
They also concede 15 shots a game, which is
on average per game, which is too much.
Never a good sign.
For a Conte team, you would expect them to be keeping those shutouts. You know, it's dull. The games are dull, but they're conceding opportunities all the time. And yeah, I'm just something about them ain't quite right now.
That's why I feel like.
Go on, man.
Or I was just going to say, this is why I think like Liverpool come back into the equation. It's half the season you can be there, but half of the time where Liverpool behind. What? Who, Sam? How many points are you actually behind 5th, 6th, and stuff? Like 4, 5 points?
I stopped looking at the table.
No, I think you're only about. That many points.
They're only 5 points behind us.
This is what I'm saying. 5 points only. And when it comes January, I can guarantee myself, I got a feeling they're going to sign 1 or 2 midfielders, and that completely changes the team going forward. It helps the defense going forward. That no matter how good your defense is, if you ain't got 2 players in front of you at least that can cover you or run absolute rock solid, that whole defense is garbage already. And it don't matter. Then you got to rely on your goalkeeper. You saw that with David De Gea in 17-18 season, and before that, how many times have to bail out? It's a similar situation. You just need a 1 or 2. I think Liverpool. No, they're in crisis if they don't get. I don't think Klopp's going to go anywhere, and I don't think he deserves to go anywhere either at the moment.
To be honest, obviously, we did start about talking about Liverpool, but don't get me wrong, Tottenham will come back into form and maybe go on a maybe 6-7 game unbeaten run. They will still get that this season. I have no doubts about that. But another thing that's makes them stick out like a sore thumb is that their football is dross. Like, you want to pluck your eyes out when you watch them play. And I mean, a lot of fans might say it's rich coming from Chelsea fans, but look, at the end of the day, you have to look at it like this. Even our new ownership, and I put that in quotation marks, one of the biggest reasons why they wanted Potter in is because they just think his football's better.